Tain, hi, my name is Sanjay. I run an internet marketing firm, and I wanted to create this video presentation for you to kind of talk to you about, how your website is doing in terms of generating traffic for you compared to some of the other chiropractors in Alameda, and then suggest some opportunities for improvement that can get you more traffic and then eventually leading to more leads and paying customers. So before I start off, what I'd like to do is just go to a page on my website and just kind of show you what the traffic distribution is based on your position on Google. So as you can see here, the first position on Google gets about 32% of the overall traffic. The second position that drops to about 17%. With the third position, it's about 11% or so. By the time you get to the second page, which is starting from position 11, as you can see, they're all kind of tightly hugging 0%. And actually, by the time you get to 15, it's just a mere 0.4% of traffic that gets to position number 15. So it's really critical to essentially get onto page one. And then once you've gotten onto page one, kind of make your way up on page one, so you start getting the lion's share of the traffic that's looking for relevant keywords in your specific geographic neighborhood. So with that background, I'd like to take you to Google search. And what we're doing here is just basically, if I search for chiropractor Alameda, right, that's the search term. This top section here is basically sponsored ads. And as you can see, Alameda Chiropractor has taken on one of those ads, and that's basically a site that you'll see later again here on this on the organic results. I mean, the strategy is people try to see if they can first at least get one position on the first page, and then once they've gotten one position on page one, then see if they can somehow get multiple positions on page one, right? Because with each position, you can kind of grab more traffic. Right below that, the sponsored ads, we have the map pack, which is the local results shown by Google. Now, even though you guys are registered with Google My Business, you're not showing up in this first three listings here. To find your listing, you'd have to go to more places, and then it's going to make me enter something here, but I'd have to basically go to more places and then, essentially come and find you guys. And so there you are. Position number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the challenge is, there's not a lot of people that might kind of click for more positions and then go and see that. So again, you want to try and be in the top 3 positions on the map pack. And then coming back to the organic results, which is right beneath the map pack, these are the organic results, and then you definitely want to try and get on the first 10 and then kind of make your way up from there. We talked earlier about AlamedaChiropractor.com. They've taken one piece of real estate right here, and then on number 4, organic listing, there they are again. So they're going to get the traffic that comes to them through this organic listing, and then they're also trying to get some of the traffic through the sponsored ad up here. If you look at Vitalogy, they have the second position here in the map pack. Interestingly for them, they also have these first 3 listings in the organic results for Alameda ends up being all Yelp listings, and there's some reasons why none of the actual service providers themselves show up on top. Mainly that has to do with how optimized their site is, because there's the more backlinks and citations and stuff you have, then it helps you rank higher and get to a higher ranking, and most of these guys don't have that. But nevertheless, these guys end up taking not only a position here in the map pack, they also then end up taking this Yelp position, which is position 3, and then they're also here on position 7. So as you can see, they've taken up 3 spots basically on the first page, and that all of that of course results in traffic. If they really wanted, they could also get some sponsored ads and then also take up a fourth position. Or eventually, if they had a YouTube channel or a Facebook page, you can try and rank those pages and then get additional spots, right? But anyway, that's sort of the background. And then where you guys are is essentially, on page 2. Let's see. There's advanced health. So advanced health. You're basically position number 13 right now. And as we saw, in the on my website earlier, that's at position 13, you're almost at 0. So that's really not helping a whole lot. And to kind of illustrate that point, let me go quickly to another tool here. And on this tool, I'm kind of tracking organic traffic that you're getting to the website, from your based on your keywords. And basically earlier this year, you had about 24. Around May, you had actually successfully climbed up to about 48. And then looks like it tapered again, and you're running at around 12 visitors to your website right now per month. And again, if you look at where what search keyword most of those users are using, so about 91% of the traffic that's coming to your site. So most of the 12 people, they're searching for advanced health chiropractic, and essentially that's the keyword that's kind of bringing them to your site. So they're not even like they're not, if you can look, if you see here, for example, chiropractor Alameda CA, this site says you're 15. This site chiropractor Alameda, it says you're 13. Again, the ranking here takes a little bit of time to catch up, but as we saw, I think you were at number 13 for chiropractor Alameda. And then, I think if we had looked for chiropractor Alameda CA, you might have been at 14 or 15. But so that's really the challenge, is how do you take things that are relevant, and then people are looking for back pain or neck pain, various ailments and treatment options, and then they might be just looking for chiropractors or chiropractic, and you want to be able to rank for those types of keywords so you can get more traffic to your site. Another example is Vitalogy that we just saw earlier. They're generating about 65 unique visits to their site. Now, can they do better? They can absolutely do a lot better. They're getting, a lot of their visits are coming from some of those. Basically, they have some resources, some PDF guides, and so a lot of the people are kind of searching for this specific type of stretch, and then they're finding the guide and coming to that. And let me show you what I mean by that. This is their website, and amongst the things they have here, I think there's some stretches and exercises, and they have these PDF files, and I think a lot of the search is coming specifically for this PDF here. So part of again trying to get you guys ranking is to see what your competition is doing, and then do it, match it and even do it better, because that's going to help with more ranking and more traffic. So that's one thing. But if you also look at their site, they've got so many different pages. So you've got, they've got their what to expect page, and first visit, second visit, and so on and so forth. The techniques used by them. So there's a couple of, some page about that. There's articles that they've got, and some information pertaining to all of that. Just some stuff listed here. They've got something specific for pregnancy care, low back pain, and there's just a lot of content here. So the idea is you got to beat them on actually meet them and then beat them on the content. If I compare that with your page, right, it's a single page site where all of these links just take you to a different section on that same one page. And you've definitely, if these are all the different ailments that you can help address, your site has not been optimized to talk about all these things. Just mentioning them once is not going to make you rank for these things. You've got to have more solid content around it. And give you an example of that, if I went to Google and just typed in cat, for example, right? And let's get through this thing. Okay, so if we typed in cat, you'll notice that the first listing that shows up is Wikipedia. And Caterpillar, which is a global conglomerate with the URL cat.com, even they show up second. Now, part of the reason for that is if you look at just the amount of content that's on this page, right? They just have absolutely the most amount of content and everything indexed and linked and so on. And there's just nothing else on the web, on the internet, that has this much information on a single page about cats. And that's one of the reasons why they rank so highly for the keyword cat, right? So if you want to rank for neck pain treatment options, or how you can use how can chiropractors help with headaches and migraines and whiplash and all these different ailments, you've got to have like pages for each one of these that describe them in a lot of detail. And that when you have that, then you automatically start becoming relevant for those keywords. And also we've got to really make it obvious that this is being offered in Alameda. And yeah, you've got some information. You definitely have your address here. You do have Google Map and all that. But if we did a little bit more kind of saying where it's offered, and just when you're talking about the different treatment options, you can say, hey, we offer specifically how to treat knee problems. In our Alameda facility, we offer these types of massages, et cetera, et cetera, right? So you can do a lot of stuff. You can say a lot of stuff that makes your content very relevant, and when it get indexed, it'll get indexed as this content is relevant for this ailment in Alameda, right? So that's part of the strategy, is just kind of redoing the content, and just kind of having a home and services, and under services you have the different types of if you have if you offer massages versus specific other treatment options, you can put that all under services. And then conditions, you have another link, and then under that we'll have list out each one of the conditions, have a page specific to each one of those conditions. And then maybe there's like you have an FAQ here, that you might have a resources page, something else, of course, about us, where you have information about your team, contact us. And you can get to about 15-20 pages and really get this site to be very relevant and very useful for people. And that's that relevance is going to go a long way in terms of helping you rank. We've seen, we've looked at the keywords and ranking. Currently you're ranking for 15 keywords, and for the money keywords, you're really not generating that much traffic, right? Like you're getting 0.01% of the traffic for chiropractor Alameda. So that's what you've got to improve, so you can get to 90, 100 unique visitors a month. The next thing I want to talk about really quickly is, if I look at your backlinks, which is another part of SEO, which is you've got other websites, other web properties on the internet need to link back to you and that establishes a signal of trust for Google. Right now you've got 9 links, and we have to really blow this up and get a 100 plus links, and then site starts looking more and more trustworthy and relevant, right? So we do the relevance through the content, and then we do the trust factor through backlinks and citations and so on. Right now we've got about 60 different citations, and I think that's great. I think it's a great start, and then you just have to even do more than that and kind of blow that up and get a few more, and that all of these things will make a big difference. Lastly, before we wrap this up, I wanted to kind of let you know that the other thing we can look at, which is a quick win, is essentially once I think one of the reasons why you might not be ranking high is, there obviously some of these sites have reviews, some of them don't have reviews, but the ones that don't have reviews are already also organically ranking high. So like Vitalogy and Alameda Chiropractic Center, these guys are also already ranking high. So one thing you could do is basically, if you got some reviews, I think that'll really help start pushing things up. Of course, getting more content and links and reviews and all that would be a good comprehensive strategy. And the goal being, if we can get you higher up on the map back here, so you take one of these positions, we get you much higher here. If we can eventually get you to the if we can beat Yelp eventually, we can beat that and maybe even get it in between. But at least if we can get you to, somewhere, around 4 or 5, you're much more visible, you get a lot more traffic. And then that's for one keyword. And then once we kind of do something like that for similar keywords like, neck pain treatment, Alameda, so on and so forth, like just all the long tail options, right? So if you look at here, it basically says people, there's 90 people looking for the word chiropractor in Alameda per month, but there's also, 70 people looking for sciatica and 40 people looking for lower back pain and herniated disc. And so, if we can add content that makes it relevant for all these different keywords, we're going to start capturing some of these this traffic as well. So that's the strategy. That's what I'd like to kind of work with you on. And with this kind of summary, let's talk some more and see if you guys would be interested in moving forward with something like this. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.